joyful, valiant, enigmatic, and fearless. My name is Jefferson Godard. I'm a trained architect, academic, and curator from Chicago, Illinois. And I'm thrilled to be co-curating All This and Not Ordinary, work from Sabina Ott with Paul Baker Prindle. Sharing the same love for Sabina Ott, Paul came to me and wanted to discuss curating a show together, which is just such a marvelous opportunity to bring it to the Madison Museum of Contemporary Art. The exhibit is material focused. So in essence, we're distilling the show to just focusing on polystyrene-based works, but also that has her painterly influence and also her installation. Material was very important for Sabina. For her, it was trying to tell a narrative through the material. When she moved to polystyrene, she liked the lightweight flexibility of the material. The way that she renders the material, it does have jagged edges, but also sometimes, like the work Always Everyone in the show, has this beauty to it as well, this simplicity, this lyricism to it, but sometimes it can be clumsy as well. The title of the show is based on a poem, A Carafe That Is a Blind Glass, from a poem of Gertrude Stein that was published in her book, Tender Buttons. A lot of Sabina's work references both material and poetry. And with Gertrude Stein, there's almost this illogic or this cubist sort of rendering of the way that her poetry is perceived. It doesn't have a narrative structure to it, and there's a topsy-turvy flow to it. A lot of the titles from the works in the show are taken from a Gertrude Stein poem. They're lifted from the middle of a structure. So therefore, when we titled the show, we pulled from the middle of the poem, and also to give a little credence to the fact that Sabina was not ordinary. Most artists begin at the bottom, working their way up, scrapping along, building up a reputation, showing in coffee shops and small galleries. Sabina, on the other hand, started off strong. She started off like a rock star. Her first show out of grad school in San Francisco Art Institute was at the Los Angeles Institute of Contemporary Art. She showed her first solo show. She was acquired by the Los Angeles County Museum of Art, LACMA, which is a major institution afterwards. Her career was stratospheric in a way. She moved to Chicago after teaching at Washington University and other colleges, traveling and showing around the world. And while in Chicago, I had the opportunity to meet Sabina. We taught together at Columbia College, and she had such a storied career and such an incredible personality. While Sabina started off in this huge art star context, showing at LACMA, ICALA, in the collection of the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Whitney Museum, Sabina will be much more remembered for her sense of community. Sabina was a mentor and a friend to everyone, to her students, to former colleagues. When she moved to Chicago, she realized that she needed to open up her home to represent younger artists. She needed to champion younger artists and her friends. Her space was called Terrain, which she operated out of her Oak Park home, and she would literally have any part of her home open to whatever artist she invited wanted to show. If they wanted to show something in the front yard, the side yard, the living room, the roof, someone even painted something on the roof. She was someone that carried the torch for everyone in her community. The show itself actually functions in a way of memory, of understanding, finding her practice, understanding her practice. Hopefully the viewer leaves here with a lot of joy. In the rear of the exhibit, it brings this noise, this cacophony that hopefully will bring her laughter, evoke her spirit into the show. The gridded wall with the works on top of them is actually kind of a genuflect to an early show of hers at the Glass Curtain Gallery in Chicago at Columbia College that she was part of. And several of the works were in her Chicago Culture Center show. There are actually also some works here that were never made it out of her studio. So it's a wonderful opportunity to reimagine her both practice, studio space installation works in a new frame and in a brand new context here at the Madison Museum of Contemporary Art.